Time is that finite resource that we don't get more of. If you've been paying attention on this series, I mentioned that I'm about to embark on an adventure to turn $1,000 into $10,000. And my original plan to do that was to explore different parts of the unfolding digital civilization that we are imagining with our minds and connecting with our phones and computers. I actually went into, poked my head into a rabbit hole, and started looking into NFTs, thinking, okay, I'm going to buy some NFTs and then flip them. This one, for example, Crypto Cannabis Club, is one where there's characters who there's 10,000 of these avatars that are created. Everyone who is an owner of these avatars gets a plant, and they can participate in breeding new strains of plants, competing in all types of different things. As I poked my beak down that hole, I realized that our time is precious, and if we're going to spend our time in this space, we need to do it wisely. I was about to, buy a racehorse and put that into races, and I may do that. But right now, I'm very focused on building a number of businesses and projects. So I'm actually looking for the most passive type of investment that I can do right now. And down the road, we'll come back into some of these rabbit holes. It's noisy. I had to get away from the noise a little bit, and I realized my digital town that I'm mapping out here didn't have a park, didn't have a way to escape from the noise. So I put in a little park here, and I thought about what is really important. You can get more money, but you can't get more time. So if I've got $1,000, how can I get that $1,000 to work for me as much as possible? And after a bit of research, I've got two methods that I'm going to be sharing in this video. One of them is Osmosis. That is a DEX. It is a decentralized exchange, a market. It is a crypto marketplace built on the Cosmos ecosystem. They believe in a multi-chain world, so Ethereum is going to work together with DOT and with Cardano and with Solana. And I think that the narrative in the crypto space will realize the potential of that. So instead of just investing in the Atom coin, which is the token for the Cosmos ecosystem, I'm going to be providing liquidity for a couple tokens in the system, which I think are doing some pretty cool things. The other one is going to be Hex. Now, Hex is a brilliant smart contract, which is simple on the first look, but as you dive into it, you'll see that there's a system. There's a way to stake these the Hex coins, which allow you to put those coins to work. Because as we know, markets transfer wealth from the impatient to the patient. So I think when we're looking for places and coins and tokens that are going to be increasing in value, we're looking for tokens that people are not going to sell. And if people are staking them, they're taking them off of the supply, off of the market, and they're saying, I'm not going to touch those coins for a very long time. That's a good thing. And I think that's going to weather any type of correction. When there's coins like Shiba and various types of meme coins that don't have too much value beyond the joke of it, when there's a correction, those are the first coins that people are cashing out of. So these two systems that I'm going to show you today are chosen because they are serious projects and they reward very long-term holding behavior, which is going to protect the price should there be any type of volatility in the crypto markets. So let's dive in. Let's start with Osmosis. Osmosis is the marketplace, the leading marketplace on the Cosmos chain. Now, this is a great place to start when there's a new chain. The marketplace is a great place to be. Projects will come and go, but all of those projects are listed on a marketplace. Somebody once said, you want to get rich, sell a product. You want to get super wealthy, create a marketplace. Let's become an owner in the marketplace and put that token, put that ownership, put that stock of the marketplace to work. Doesn't make sense? We'll see what I mean. Here's Osmosis. You can trade coins, you can pool, you can receive airdrops, you can take care of your assets, you can stake. There's also governance, DAO, voting abilities as well. So today we're going to dive right in. We're going to get in some Atom onto the chain. Now, to get into the Cosmos ecosystem, you're probably going to want the Kepler wallet. Now, this is the Chrome extension. The crypto wallets are an app on your phone or an extension on the browsers that you're using. This one here is the Brave browser. It has a bit more privacy than you would find in a Chrome browser. In this challenge, I'm basically going to be racing off. I'm going to split my $1,000 into two. I'm going to put $500 into Osmosis, $500 into a Hex stake, and we're going to see after 2 months which one performs better. So $500 worth of Atom is about 14.6 Atom. I'm going to deposit that into my Osmosis account. It reads my Kepler wallet, connects to it. Transaction is pending. If you guys notice, that was a 20-cent transaction as opposed to something on the Ethereum blockchain, which would take from $40 to $150 these days. Ethereum is really falling behind. I think that's one of the big reasons why Solana has pumped. I don't want to get into chasing pumps. I want to be getting into not only being a step ahead, but being a step ahead with very small market cap coins that have massive potential. As soon as the narrative catches on of their value, that's when things get very interesting. So I'm actually going to be making a pool, which means that I'm holding two tokens that people are exchanging on this Osmosis marketplace, and I'm getting some of those transaction fees to reward leaving my money, not touching my money, being patient with my money, delaying gratification, and letting that money work on my behalf passively, as opposed to diving into an infinite amount of rabbit holes and not focusing on generating more income, investing in myself, investing in my businesses. Okay, so for this challenge, I'm going to be providing liquidity for this pool here, AKT and Osmo. Now, Osmo is the token for the Osmosis marketplace. I believe in that project. I've used this exchange, and I really like it. It's one of the best exchanges that I've used, and as I've been learning the space, I've been using a lot. So I believe in Osmo, and I believe in AKT. Now, what is AKT? AKT is the Akash network. This is basically Amazon Web Services created in a decentralized way. So it's a decentralized cloud that is sovereign, and it's not able to be censored as you would with a centralized chain. So it's also serverless. And if you own some of the AKT tokens, you're actually owning a piece of that infrastructure. You're actually owning the code of this cloud company. Now, it's not just like Amazon where you just own the stock. The token is actually used in the decentralized network, so you actually start owning the actual real estate, the actual tangible code of that service. So that's a really powerful thing. And Osmosis, which has been super fast, super smooth, is actually hosted on AKT, on the Akash network. So I like both of these projects. So I'm going to be providing some liquidity here, and I can do that over here. Now I need to add in AKT and Osmo. So I'm going to have to convert. I'm going to have to trade half of my Atom, about 7.3, into Osmo. for your first transactions. There's no gas fees, so it's actually free. That's another huge advantage there. So you can see Osmosis is the fifth largest coin in the system. It's currently at $6.42. And then I'm also going to be going into the Akash network here, which is I think got a $427 million market cap, or $5.44. I think that's got some room to grow as well. Okay, so that transaction is gone through, I hope. Yep. Okay. All right, so let's go to AKT. Okay, so I'm going to move the rest in. That'll give me 46.1. Successful. Okay, so that's about a 5-second transaction time. Pretty good. So now we're going to go head back to the pool, and I'm going to now add remove liquidity, and I can add both of those tokens. So I can add my AKT and my Osmos tokens. I can then approve that for my wallet. Each of those are actually interacting with my wallet browser extension. Okay, so now I have $501 in that available to start earning. I'm just going to move this across so you can actually see this. So here I'm going to click start earning. I'm going to put the max amount. Now, unbonding period, this is how long I'm going to wait once I click, once I tell the system that I'd like my tokens back. I'm going to have to wait a day, 7 days, or 14 days. If I'm willing to wait 14 days, delaying my gratification even more, I get higher returns on my money. This is going to be a common theme that we're going to see in a lot of these different opportunities that we're coming across. The longer you're willing to wait, the higher returns you can access. So I'm going to go for 14 days because I've got that patience. I'm happy to delay my gratification to put my money to work. And I'm going to have more time because I'm not buying racehorses. I'll be able to make focus on making more fiat money to invest wisely. Okay, so there we have it. Now we should see back at the pools. Okay, so I'm going to move my Osmosis into my dry bag. That's going wherever I'm going. That is now, that money is now working on my behalf, making 202% a year, plus however much those tokens go. I have a feeling that as we've moved from, we're moving through a Solana hype cycle right now, we'll be moving on to either DOT or Cosmos, or potentially both. Should those ecosystems get a lot of attention and therefore investment, we're going to see some big growth here. So let's move on to the next one, which is Hex. Now, Hex is basically a certificate of deposit. If you're familiar with the product in the bank, which allows you to tell the bank and say, hey, I'm not going to touch this money for 6 months or a year or 2 years. And they're currently offering about 0.6 to 1% on your money to do that. So if you're going to tell them, hey, I'm not going to touch this $100 for a year, they're going to pay you about $1 for the luxury of the privilege of them being able to say to various other institutions and governments and saying, hey, I have $100 sitting here. I'd like to use that as collateral for a loan. And then we have fractional reserve, centralized financial system banking happening. Now, Hex basically removes that entirely and allows you to make a contract with the currently at this moment the Ethereum blockchain, and it allows you to make a transparent, public, immutable, unchangeable contract with that blockchain. And you're actually able to say, hey, I have a bit of hex here. I would like to not touch it for 1 day, 1 year. It could be 10 years. It could be up to 5,555 days, which is about 15 years. And based on how long you promise not to touch that hex, you'll receive an appropriate amount of multipliers and returns. Now, the average interest is about 40% per year. This will change depending on how many people are staking it. There's about 200,000 people on Hex. It has about $20 billion, which has been locked up for an average of 6 years. So that's quite a bit of value of stored energy in the hex coins that have been staked. So to do it, I'm going to head over to go.hex.com/stake. I'm going to connect my wallet this time because it's on the Ethereum blockchain. We're going to use the MetaMask, which you want to make sure you're downloading the right one from the store. Make sure that it's not one of these ones where not a lot of people have used it. You really want to make sure that it is the one. So you've got 8 million users here. This is the one. That's the wallet you want, and then you can transfer it to that wallet from one of your exchanges that you might be starting on, whether that's Binance or Coinbase or something like that. Okay, so Hex has had a very fast run over the last couple of years since it began. It does reward delayed gratification, and I think that's at the key to its success. It's a finished product, so it's not like you're investing in speculation on a product which doesn't exist yet. This is a working, functional contract that you can enter into in a very transparent way. This is a very beautiful way to have not only a bank account in your pocket, but a certificate of deposit in your pocket. This is what I believe decentralized finance is all about. Okay, so once you've transferred tokens from Coinbase or Binance into your MetaMask, you can then use an exchange, a marketplace like Uniswap, to turn your ETH, your Ethereum, into Hex. HEX, and then once you have HEX in your MetaMask wallet, you can go to go.hex.com/stake, and that's where you're going to be creating a contract with the Ethereum blockchain, and you're going to say, listen, I want you to burn these Hex because I don't need any Hex for 1 month, 2 months. I think we're going to do 2 months because I think 2 months is a good time frame to check in on these strategies to see which one is doing better. So I've looked at what $500 worth of Hex is. It's about 1,253 of that. Now you notice here, depending on how many days and how long I stake for, you can actually get bonuses for doing that. I mean, if I were to say I don't want to touch this for 15 years, you can actually get quite a lot of Hex. Because you get longer, I'll get an extra 2,500 Hex. Now, this T-shares is something that I won't go too deep into here, but this is basically a way that once you've burnt your Hex, you get a T-share that represents your percentage of the pool of all of the staked Hex. And that T-share will determine how much interest, which is a total of 3.69% of Hex that is unfolding each year. So you'll get a share of that based on your T-share, as well as if you end the stake early, let's say, I can't complete the 2 months and I need to get it out tomorrow, I'm going to be taking penalties for that. Do keep that in mind if you're staking Hex. You're saying you are accepting to penalties should you decide to end that stake early. Also, if you leave it later, there's also penalties there. So the amount of T shares that you get are actually going to be determined by how long and how big your stake is. And the T share is actually your passive income generating asset. So I'm going to put in 60 days because we're going to check in 2 months on these two different strategies and compare which one most effectively puts our money to work. I'm going to stake this one right here, 1,253 hex for 60 days. Now, because I'm on the Ethereum blockchain, I'm going to have to pay $29 to make that happen, which isn't too bad. It can be up to $80, up to $150, depends on how congested the system is there. Okay, so I'm going to move my hex over next to my Osmosis. I've got two passive income strategies working right now. That $1,000 is now going to work, and as you can see, it didn't take too long at all. It's taken about 20 minutes to get those both up and going. That money, that stored energy, is now being put to work, and it's working on my behalf. It's owning a part of the future of the infrastructure of the digital civilization that we're all paying attention to at this point of time. So on my newsletter, which you can join at sammiller.life, I'll be sharing these types of passive income opportunities in the digital space, such as Osmosis, such as Hex, ways that you can put your money to work and generate cash flow. I'm also going to be sharing passive income real estate investment opportunities, in particular Airbnb properties that you can put to work when you're not using them. And when you are using them, you're going to have a lifestyle play. It will make your life better because you have a place that you can stay, and you have an international flexibility, taking advantage of the opportunities that we have today. And remember, you can get more money, but you can't get more time. So that's what this is about, putting our money to work to give us more time to spend doing the things that we want to do. So I'm going to leave it at that. Until the next video, make sure to embrace your fears, because your fears may be getting in the way of seeing a life that you may not have even imagined yet. There may be a life where you have more time to do the things that you want to do, and the type of investments and delayed gratification that you need to do to get there may not be happening because there's fears that hold us back. Oh, it's too digital, it's too complicated. It's simple. There are tutorials for every step of the process that I've shown you today. If you'd like to go deeper into some of that information, jump in my Telegram group, the Digital Abundance Telegram chat group. Ask your questions there. We're building a community of pioneers who are setting out and exploring for the abundance of opportunities that are unfolding right now. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'll see you guys in the next one.